10 seconds. All right, Oliver, Davarryl, we went over the rules. Let's keep it clean. Obey my commands. Protect yourself at all times. Let's do it. I'm not banging at the bell.
All right, so we're set to go here. Oliver McCall will probably want to start very fast against Davarryl Williamson. Williamson is the type of guy who's a big puncher, too. He's got a big right hand. He'll try to outbox McCall. He moves well for big man. He likes to circle to his left consistently. He circles to his left, and then he'll go around to his right. And Oliver will try to put pressure on him immediately. You'll notice he moves to his left, and when he stops from circling to his left, he'll just stop and he doesn't do anything. That's the time that Oliver feels like he can hurt him, and he can stop him with the stiff jab. Seems to be some sort of problem out there in the ring. Something came out. Is it a mouthpiece? I guess it is a mouthpiece that came out from Oliver McCall's mouth. This is a guy who wants to win spectacularly, and as I said, it's a step up in class from his last couple of fights, although Henry Akinwande had Oliver going pretty good to the late rounds, and then all of a sudden, McCall, who can bang, and he's got a chin of granite, so Oliver McCall is a terrific fighter. Davarryl Williamson to the left of your screen in the silver trunks with the blue. You see, tries to work downstairs to the body of big Oliver McCall. McCall up on those toes. McCall, at 39 years of age, is a young 39 years of age. You probably know his history. He's been incarcerated a few times. He's had problems with the law, but he's really a good kid. He's just comes from the tough streets of Chicago in a very tough project, and it's just kind of been his cross to bear throughout his life. But when you get to know him and meet him, he's just a lovely kid. You see what I mean about Davarryl? Continually circling around. He'll go right, he'll go left, and Oliver will hunt him down. He knows how to cut him off, and Oliver's trying to keep the pressure on him. He's got to be aware of the sneaky right hand, and as I mentioned, McCall can take a shot with a very good, strong, solid chin. You notice when Williamson will circle to his left, he'll stop, and immediately you'll see Oliver attack him. And Oliver doesn't care if he goes downstairs. It's McCall facing you, loading up the right hand that time. It catches a little bit of the head of Davarryl Williamson. Williamson was actually having a pretty good time against Vladimir Klitschko. He had him down, but it was one of those rounds where he knocked him down, and instead of it being a 10-8 round, a lot of the judges, or some of the judges anyway, scored a 10-9 because Klitschko got kind of ignited when he came back after his knockdown and ended up losing the round, but only 10-9. And then when they went to the judges' scorecards after the 5th round, according to the rules of boxing, because of the cut on the forehead of Vlad, I mean, it just was a situation where he didn't get the points. A very disappointing loss for him. At 36 years of age, which Williamson has said prior to this fight, if I don't win this fight, I'm thinking about retiring. His idea, of course, is to drag Oliver into the late rounds, sort of the same idea he had against Vlad Klitschko. Doing that's going to be a bit of a problem because, I'll tell you this, Oliver McCall can really bang. And the reason I mentioned his incarceration is because all those years that he was incarcerated, the years that he really didn't have to train and couldn't train and wasn't taking any punishment. Therefore, the years, you know, with this mental illness that he had after the Lennox Lewis fight and then the problems he had with the law, he's straightened himself out and he's clean now, and I'm really glad for him, and you like to see him do well. Davarryl Williamson is a kid who had a tremendous amateur career. He was a national amateur champion 3 times, and kind of luck wasn't on his side because on all 3 occasions he never made it to the Olympics. He was beaten out by one man or another over the course of his amateur career, but stayed in the amateur until he was about 30 years of age. The bell ends round number 1. A little bit more aggressive with McCall, and the 3 judges that'll do the scoring are Steve Weisfeld, Tony Paolillo, and Ron McNair. 10-point must scoring system. Pretty good round for McCall.
Take a nice deep breath.
That's Richie Giacchetti who'll do the talking in there.
Take a nice deep breath. Some water. Okay. Real good.
Richie's the guy who engineered
real good. You're holding the right hand. Right. You know what I mean? You're not putting it together. See, you're splitting with this, but you're stalling with this hand. Let it go. Throw punches. Work the body, then work back up.
Across the way that George Durbin works with him. You see they cut in as Alexander Newbold and Judah. Judah's dead. Davarryl is a NABF and a WBO Latino champion. Not particularly big puncher, but he can hit well enough when you're fighting you know, the journeyman type fighters, but McCall is not a journeyman fighter. He's a former heavyweight champion of the world. And if he didn't have that nervous condition and really psychological problems, he might have been around for a while, because don't forget, he knocked out Lennox Lewis to win the WBC title. And Oliver's quite a guy. He says, I want to fight Vitaly Klitschko because he's the guy that has the WBC title that I lost, and that's the title I want. So he has a lot of desire. He'll hook with that left hand. He'll hook to the body. He'll hook to the head. His straight right hand down the middle has a lot of power, and that's what Davarryl Williamson is trying to avoid here. Davarryl with his back to you, with the blue trim on his gray trunks and the white trunks, is Oliver McCall, a former WBC heavyweight champion of the world. Oliver continues to cut off the ring as Davarryl continues to circle to his left. Now he fishes downstairs. Oliver's a little heavier around the middle. He's in at 233 pounds. Davarryl's in at 220. But this is good weight for Oliver at this stage in his career. He's been much heavier. He's been up over 250. Oliver trying to time a right hand. Nice movement that time by Williamson to avoid it. Williamson knows what he wants to do. He wants to continue to move like this, and he doesn't care about giving away the first couple of rounds. He figures if he can drag this 39-year-old fighter, Oliver McCall, into the deep water, he can drown him and mug him then. But that is a long road to go, because McCall is so tough, and he can go 10 to 12 rounds. This is scheduled for 10 rounds in the heavyweight division. McCall is a fighter that Don King has given opportunity after opportunity in spite of his problems with the law, in spite of his problems with drugs over the years. And all of us, quite frankly, will discuss it with you and just say, when he talks to me, he says, Colonel, I just hope I can keep control of myself, because, you know, I know that this is my answer. Nice right hand that time creases the left side of the head of Davarryl Williamson, but it doesn't shift him. Got him pretty good, but a little bit high on the cheek, but it spun the head. Now Davarryl comes back with a jab of his own, and Oliver picks up the pace a little bit himself. Davarryl continues to back off. He'll go to circle. When he backs straight off like this, he's not as effective, because he has McCall that'll come right straight in on top of him, and McCall will throw that right hand. Davarryl has a tendency, you know, you see the way he holds his hands high from the amateurs, but every once in a while when he reaches with his left hand, he drops that left hand and is wide open for the right hand counter of Oliver. And Oliver thinks he can stop him with that straight right hand if he can catch him and time him just at the right moment. Davarryl, don't forget, is a very experienced fighter and a quality fighter. So while Oliver has been fighting journeyman in his last 3 fights, he knocked out his last 3 opponents. And they don't call Akinwande a journeyman fighter, but he's a guy that held the IBF title at one stage. And in spite of his age, he's a very difficult guy with his height to beat. This is a very close round, but I think McCall again was busier. And it's going to be hard for the judges to give Davarryl Williamson those rounds when he's really just sort of backing off and trying to counterpunch with McCall. But we know what his fight plan must be. We're in the corner now with Davarryl Williamson.
It's a good job. It's the way to move, man. You're moving the jab good. Look, I want you crouched down a little bit more. When you fire that right hand, don't throw it at his head. Throw it at his chest. You understand? Because you couldn't try and get down below it. You understand? Put the hook behind it quick and then step around. That's all you got to do is step on this guy. You understand?
Can't. You're letting the guy. You're doing nice. You're boxing nice. But you got to put them together. You know what I mean? You're just boom, 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 right. Go to here. Boom. Go here. Come back up. Bring them up. Then straight forward. One ain't going to get it done. It's going to take 3s and 4s. You put the guy out and you look like $10 million. Okay. Let's pick it up to another level.
Take a look at the replay to see what Richie's talking about. He wants to put combinations together. And you see what Richie's talking about. You see one's not going to get it done with his very calm instructions where you saw Davarryl double with his jab. Here we go. This is round 3. Bob Sheridan here. We're at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Our principal's in there in the 3rd round of the scheduled 10-round heavyweight affair. Oliver McCall trying to resurrect the career that took him all the way to the WBC heavyweight championship of the world. One of the men that was able to stop Lennox Lewis in his prime. And you recall in the rematch, McCall very much embarrassed. Now the jab of Williamson gets to be much more effective here in round number 3. And you may see Williamson trying to pick up the pace instead of continually circling way around to his left and to his right. Now it's a short half steps left and right, trying to get Oliver sort of off balance so he can time something. Oliver wanted to start a little bit faster than this, but you heard Richie Giacchetti say one punch isn't going to get it done with this guy. You know, if you're going to load up, throw it the 3-punch combination. Start it with your jab, get the right hand right behind it. Oliver pods forward. Davarryl still on the sort of bicycle, moving, circling to his left, plants himself. The thing is that Oliver wants to be in that danger zone, or in that kill zone, as I call it, when he stops and plants, and Oliver's trying to position himself to do that. Davarryl right now is dictating how this fight is going, because it's Davarryl Williamson who is really dictating when they will engage with his movement. Remember, Williamson turned pro at about around age 30. He had a tremendous amateur career and has been very successful as a professional fighter with a record of 20-3 with 17 knockouts. He's a guy that likes to box and likes a lot of movement, especially early, and so he's dictating what he wants to do. This is the way he wants to fight McCall. Get the 39-year-old a little tired and then try to pick up the pace and start winning some rounds. Davarryl, you notice, isn't circling as much as he was in the first 2 rounds. Now he plants and throws a couple of awkward punches. Has a tendency to square those shoulders up just a bit. Nice jab in the face, big right hand by Oliver, then the hook. That's what Richie Giacchetti, his cornerman, wants him to do, is to throw punches in bunches. Time he caught him with another pretty good right hand. The heavier blows seem to be off the hands of McCall, but they're not shifting Davarryl Williamson. That's conditioning. Nice straight right hand, sneaky right hand that time by Oliver. But with 28 seconds to go in the 3rd round, Davarryl really, even though he's dictated the pace of this round, I don't know if he's landed enough clean blows to win this round. See, Oliver makes him miss a couple of times there as Davarryl reaches. And Davarryl, when he reaches with the left hand, remember I said how he drops the hand? And the bell ends at round number 3. That's a closer round and a difficult round to score. I give that round to Williamson because it was his best round of the fight. Some judges may go the other way with that one, but if there's any round of the first 3 that he won, it would have been that round.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I need you to step over here. Step over and step on the right hand. You hear me? I don't want you to get hit with those cheap-ass jabs. What you have to do is you have to stay low and move side to side, okay? You have to move side to side. You guys got, all you're trying to do is land big shots, dude. Step over. When he, don't let him turn. Once you turn on him, don't let him walk to you. As soon as you turn him, bang, bang, you gotta let it go. All right? Timing's everything, baby. And you got
good instructions by George Durbin.
Doing well, but you gotta get
listen to what Richard Giacchetti, who runs the control point, has to say. You think you're looking into a mirror? The guy standing right behind Oliver is Bobby Giacchetti, and he's Richie's twin brother. And I can't tell you how many times over the past 30 years I've said hello to Richie and been talking about him. All right, here we go. This is round 4 at Madison Square Garden. 2 heavyweights. At the age where this heavyweight division is really kind of up for grabs, and on a night at Madison Square Garden, New York, where Don King is going to try to peel off about 4 of the heavyweights. One of these 2 guys could move right into contention with a win tonight, so it's a very big fight for both guys. Davarryl has talked about the possibility of retirement if he's not successful against McCall, and if he is not successful against McCall, I mean, this is the type of fighter he's got to beat, an aging, a former heavyweight champion. For McCall, a guy who's had a lot of success with 1 big punches several times in his career. The biggest punch he ever landed was the big right hand that he landed when he knocked out Lennox Lewis for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the world. And then his own world sort of fell apart with the emotional problems after that. Right now, this is an even 4th round. It's going just about the same way the 3rd round that I gave to Davarryl. You see Davarryl throwing more punches down, landing more. He digs to the body of Oliver. Oliver touches him up with a couple of nice jabs and then a wide right hand. Now it looks like Oliver wants to pick up the pace, and Williamson's able to kind of handle anything that Oliver does. Bangs the body back upstairs. Davarryl, as you can see, is landing more shots now in this, the 4th round, than he was in the first couple of rounds. Things are going more his way as he touches him up with a jab. Past the midway point here in round 4. Davarryl having a good round 4. And Oliver's got to do something to get Williamson off his pace, because Williamson won the last round and he's probably winning this round. And you heard his corner man, Richard Giacchetti, say, Oliver, you can't do this with 1 punch. You want to start it with the left hand, And here's Davarryl up on his toes, moving around. He's dictating the way he wants his fight to go. That's ring general there. And if he wins this round, then it's working fine for him because he's starting to approach the middle rounds of this fight. And as the younger of the two fighters, who hasn't been in the wars that McCall has had both in and out of the ring, it becomes an effective ally for Davarryl Williamson at this stage in the fight. Nice uppercut. And so far, I haven't seen the uppercut from Oliver McCall. And Davarryl, who holds his hands up high, should be able to be tagged with the uppercut. And as a matter of fact, when I talked to Oliver this afternoon, he told me that he had intentions of trying to land the uppercut, but he hasn't landed one. Maybe the fact that Davarryl cracked him with one to get the idea. Maybe he ought to try and throw that. But Davarryl's outboxing Oliver right now. See him beating to the punch. No panic from Oliver McCall. He's been down the road a lot of times. His 49th professional fight. That's a pretty good boxing round for Davarryl Williamson. I've got the fight dead even after 4, folks.
Go. Yeah, good. It's better, baby. It's better. Keep it close. Listen to me. Boxing's beautiful, you understand? I want that jab to snap back, understand? After you jab, once you want to throw a hook, but you got to step around quick and then fire that right hand, okay? Got a little cut up there on his eyes starting, okay? You got to keep working. Give me a deep breath.
Watch his attempt at an uppercut by Davarryl. He had the right idea, didn't quite land. It just grazed the cheek of Oliver, but I like the idea. And now McCall plants and lands his jab, makes Davarryl miss, and gets something through there. But I thought that all in all, in the 4th round, Davarryl Williamson controlled the pace of that round and did more to win that round. Here we go, round 5. And now there's a problem again with some equipment with Oliver McCall, and Richie Giacchetti seems to be working on the glove over there. A piece of tape evidently is not proper, or they're getting the piece of tape around the wrist of Oliver McCall. Richie, the old pro, knows how to give his man an extra 30 seconds. Angelo Dundee used to take a piece of, he'd use the grease and stick it up underneath the tape and then lift the tape up and then pull it down just before they come out. And that would guarantee his fighter about 10 or 15 seconds into the round. And now they tell me in the trunk that they give him about 45 seconds or so extra rest for McCall, and that'll help him as round number 5 time is in again. Here we go, round 5, scheduled for 10. So McCall gets extra rest, which will do him more good than Davarryl Williamson. Davarryl had things going his way in the last round. Here he is again, on the move again. A little bit of puffiness by the right eye of Davarryl. All of it not showing any wears in his face. Neither fighter has been down. Nobody's been shaken. Nobody hurt yet. The right eye of Davarryl pretty severely bruised right now. But he's won the last couple of rounds on my scorecard and appears to be outboxing Oliver at this stage in the 5th round. Oliver McCall facing you in the white trunks with the gold trim, and the silver trunks with the blue trim is Davarryl Williamson. A win for either one of these fighters will get them another fight against one of the top 10 ranked heavyweights with Don King. King has many of the top heavyweights in the world on a contract, and over the next ensuing months, it's his goal to eliminate down to one true heavyweight champion so that they can create the mega bucks fights again, because the way it's spread out right now, nobody's really making a ton of money, including Don, and that's what Don cares about. And so he wants to have mega promotions, and he has done that over the years, and he does it by working. And right now, there's no secret, we're in one of those in-between times in the heavyweight division when guys like McCall, you might say, is a reconstituted heavyweight, and Davarryl Williamson, a guy who spent most of his career in the amateurs and is a top 20 heavyweight, big, awkward, strong, tough to beat, but yet he was beaten 6 weeks ago in Las Vegas by Vladimir Klitschko. And the Klitschko brothers are stealing a lot of the headlines. Vlad lost his title to Layman Brewster for the WBO championship of the world. And of course, Vitaly is the reigning champ and the lineage champion. So this thing is wide open. This is round number 5. Oliver McCall having a better 5th round than he had in 3 and 4. He's busier trying to land more. Maybe that's part of the reason why Giacchetti tried to give him an extra 45 seconds to a minute fooling around with the tape on his gloves. That time the blow is a little bit low, and referee Eddie Claudio says, hey, come on, Davarryl, keep it up, keep it up. Touches him up with a jab. Oliver just takes it kind of on the forehead. It's not bothering him, but he needs to land some punches because we're in the closing seconds of this 5th round now. Oliver cracks him with the right hand, but it doesn't shift the barrel. And again, he keeps looking to Eddie Claudio as the bell ends the 5th round, saying, hey, those are borderline shots, Eddie. And by right, they're actually low blows, but Davarryl has got away with them without a warning so far. I thought that was McCall's round, a better boxing round for Oliver. But these rounds are close. You're looking at Oliver McCall with Richie Giacchetti working on him, trying to revive the 39-year-old former heavyweight champion.
Good round of you.
You just got to go somewhere. Fuck the round. Just keep working.
Okay.
What you're doing is waiting with the guy. Don't play. Let this guy out of here. You want to look good, impressive? Get him out of there. You can way better than what you're doing. Don't stay in front. Let him get him off. Combination. Deep breaths. Come on, go to work. Don't these guys. Don't put these out of here. Don't get careless. Will you? Go some punches.
See, Richie's turned it up a notch now as we go to the 6th round, and his instructions to Oliver. Let's see if he has the adrenaline flow going through the arteries and veins of Mr. Oliver McCall, a one-time WBC heavyweight champ of the world. Just by his movement, it looks like he wants to get busier. And Williamson, who's a crafty boxer with all that amateur experience, knows how to move too. As awkward as he is, he gets cracked with the right hand, circles to his right, stops, plants, lets his right hand go. Oliver comes in, chopping right hand that time with the left ear. Now he throws a sneaky right hand lead. Oliver trying to set him up with several punch combination, as Richie Giacchetti told him. And Williamson, to his credit, does a nice job trying to avoid him with all his movement. Here's Oliver trying to get right on the attack, and it's much more effective when Oliver comes straight forward and Williamson pulls straight back. Williamson does for a big heavyweight, moves very well, circling to his left, and then the only time he's vulnerable is when he stops and plants. But Oliver, to this point, hasn't been able to jump on it because, he's not the quickest of heavyweights at this stage in his career either. And Oliver's trying to time the right hand, and he also has a powerful left hook. That time he spanked him with a nice stiff jab. Minute gone in round number 6 in the scheduled 10-round heavyweight fight. Neither guy to this point has looked spectacular. But it's that sort of fight where Williamson, again, is happy to stay and keep the fight close and drag McCall into the later rounds. Oliver trying to do something spectacular from his corner. You heard what Richie Giacchetti had to say, and Oliver, as a matter of fact, told me that himself. I want to be spectacular in beating this guy so I can get a shot at a money fight. It's all about, if you want to say it, all about the Benjamins. Nice sneaky right hand that time by Williamson. So Williamson, from time to time, has shown the ability to connect with Oliver, but Oliver's got such a strong chin. I like the idea what Williamson is trying to work downstairs on Oliver. Jimmy Adams, who manages Oliver, has done everything he can do to keep this guy straight, keep him in the ring. Helped his emotional status. He's done a nice job with Oliver. When he's had problems with the drugs, Jimmy, who just hates the whole drug thing, has turned his back on him, but he explained to Oliver, how can I explain to my son if I come to visit you when you have a drug problem and show you any sort of compassion if you involved with the drugs? And hopefully for Oliver, that's behind him. In spite of what happens in his career, he's a nice man, a good guy, and we'd like to see him do well. And for Davarryl Williamson, this is a key fight for him too, because he's got to be able to beat a guy of this quality. Oliver's a guy with a win over Davarryl could suddenly become into the top 10 and is in some of the ranking or sanctioning bodies in the top 10 now. But this is a round where Oliver's done a bit more than Williamson, and he's going to steal this round from him. So Williamson, after winning the 3rd and 4th, I think McCall has done very well in the 5th and 6th. And I'm going to give that round to McCall. Remember, my scoring is just an indication the way I see it. The 3 judges are Steve Weisfeld, Tony Paolillo, and Ron McNair, who do the official scoring. And a lot of the rounds have been close, so, you know, this thing could be either way.
Good. Good.
I got a 58-56
Now we got to pick it up on him.
with Oliver
Trying to win the
McCall.
last
We're
10
in the
seconds
corner
around.
now with Davarryl Williamson.
You hear me? Last 10 seconds around, you're going to get it. Keep that jab in his face, up and down, up and down. You hear me? Move that head. Okay?
Yeah, George Durbin saying, come on, Davarryl, I want you to get busier.
Now start fucking finding it right here. Quick and stepping over. Quick and stepping over. Don't leave it out there.
Now here's Oliver, you watch it, you remember what Richie saying, you got to stay busy with 2 and 3 punch combinations. Well, he landed a nice combination there. Here we go there with a sneaky right hand lead back, and very well blocked a lot of those shots by Williamson, but at least the busyness seems to be the difference in this fight. In the rounds that I gave Davarryl was because he was busier in the 4th and 5th than was Oliver, and in the 1st and 2nd, and in the 6th round I gave the McCall because I thought he was busy. Nobody's been down, nobody's shaken, no real clean big blow has landed yet. Little puffiness by the right eye of Oliver McCall as there is puffiness around the right eye of Davarryl. Davarryl moving round to the left, now back to the right, plants himself. Now Oliver tries to move in. Slaps a jab out there, but falls short, just slightly grazes the forehead. Comes back and lands a jab of his own. Now Oliver doubles with his, but no right hand behind it. And that's the punch he wants to land. And so far, we haven't seen Oliver come with the uppercut. Oliver talked about the uppercut, but he hasn't thrown it. And only one by Davarryl. The jab is effective right now, but he needs the right hand behind it. Back around to the right goes Davarryl. Other guys criticize the way he fights, but it works for Davarryl. I mean, the guy is 20-3 and had a good chance against Klitschko to stop him in his last fight. He had him down with a nice right hand. This guy can time a right hand too. It's going to be difficult with Oliver McCall unless he gets Oliver very tired in the last couple of rounds of this fight. At age 39, that could happen. But Oliver's got a very, very strong chin throughout the course of his career. Used to call himself the Atomic Bull years ago. Davarryl's catching the jab of Oliver, and Oliver still hasn't thrown that uppercut that he thought he could catch this guy with. There's a big, powerful right hand that lands up behind the left ear of Davarryl, then he touches him up with the left. See, Oliver's trying to land power shots. Davarryl doing a nice job pulling straight back. They make him miss that time, and that's a little bit frustrating for Oliver. Feints left. You can see he's got sort of a second wind, but Davarryl is making him miss, making him look bad at times. And while Davarryl isn't doing much offensively, he's dragged this guy into the area where he wants him. If he gets by this 7th round now, with less than a minute to go, about 45 seconds exactly to go in the 7th round, he's going to have to pick up the pace because he can still win this round. If he does, it would really help him out a lot. Oliver has been busy. He's just outworked Davarryl in this round. Now he's showing a little bit of fatigue as the jaw hangs down, puts the head down, comes forward, tied up by Davarryl, and then finally broken up by Eddie Claudio, the referee, doing a nice job. Again, reaching is Davarryl. Now he's right in front of him, but Wiz Oliver timing his left hand. Wiz the right hand of Davarryl. Davarryl's going to cut loose with the right hand of his own. And no uppercut at all from Oliver. There he is, loading up the right hand, but it doesn't catch. Oh, he nailed him with a good shot that time, and maybe took something out of the knees of Davarryl Williamson. Just about 2 seconds, and Davarryl kind of staggers towards his corner. And if you want to put an explanation point on the 7th round, you can do that for Oliver McCall, because he cut him good right at the end of the 7th. In the corner now, let's see what his people have to say.
You understand? Everything's done for time. You cannot lose your concentration for 1 second in this fight. You got to start throwing the punch. You got to start moving to the side. You understand? Yep. Do what you can do, Juju. You hear me? When you throw that jab, I want the right hand behind it and the 3 behind that. Quick, dude. Give me a deep breath. This is where you create separation with everybody. You hear me? Let's go. Let's do this.
Watch Oliver working hard here. This is the early going of the 7th round. And now this is the very end of the round. This replay was showing you where he caught him with that real good right hand. And that was just before the bell came in. And you see the referee coming in there. That was just at the very end of the round. We had a couple of replays we wanted to show you, but we showed you that one because we knew the live stuff was starting right up again. And here we go with round number 8 at Madison Square Garden. But that was the key replay. We thank our guys for getting that for us. Now, can Oliver keep the pressure on him, and has Davarryl recovered totally in his legs? He appears to be a little stiff-legged right now, and if Oliver can jump on him, he might be able to do something. That's the only time that anyone's been shaken, and that was in the very closing seconds of the 7th round. Davarryl's legs seem to be all right now, but I noticed that he spread out his stance just a little bit. And guys do that sometimes when they're, you know, their legs have been shaken. As Oliver tries to catch him with 3 punches. First was a light jab, then a decent right hand, and then he couldn't land another right behind it. Back downstairs is Davarryl Williamson, right in front of Oliver McCall. Oliver wants to time another big shot. And again, Oliver looks at the referee, and that's the 3rd time that Eddie Claudio has warned him. And he said, hey, it's the 3rd time. If I have to warn you again, I'm going to take a point away. And that wouldn't help Davarryl's cause at all. Remember, they're very close rounds in this fight, a lot of them. So I've got at 68-65 with these last 3 rounds to score yet. So on my scorecard, Davarryl would have to pull out all 3 of them. And nice stiff jab that time by Oliver. I mean, this guy is 39 years of age, and he's hanging in there with a pretty well-ranked heavyweight in Davarryl Williamson. This is not a journeyman fighter. Williamson is better than that. He had that long, extensive career. He turned professional. He was ready for it. Last few years, he's moved his way up through the rankings. Still has a little bit of awkwardness to him as you see the way he throws punches. He'll throw the left hand out, then he'll throw the right hand, then he doesn't get his hip into it. But he's so big and strong. I mean, this guy is 6'3" and weighs 220 pounds, so your journeyman type of fighter, he's going to rock. Minute to go. Again, Oliver staying busier in this 8th round, and that so far in the fight has been the difference as far as I can see. And Oliver has landed the one big power shot at the end of the 7th round. The only 2 rounds that I could give really to Williamson would be back to the 3rd and 4th rounds. But again, a lot of these rounds have been close, especially the first couple of rounds. The only difference is, you know, kind of like a Jimmy Young. If you like the defensive tactics of a Jimmy Young type of fighter, then you get Davarryl Williamson. But in the state of New York, there was a sneaky right hand that got through good, but it didn't shift McCall because he's so strong. He's iron chin. 19 seconds to go. That was one of the better punches that Davarryl has been able to land, but it doesn't shift McCall at all. And on that, Oliver once again has kind of outworked Davarryl. And this is the area where Davarryl really wanted to get McCall into, and he really hasn't capitalized on it. He's got 2 more rounds to work with as the bell is about to sound, ending the 8th round. Boy, you know, I'd like to give a round to Davarryl, but I can't. I mean, that's McCall's round. He just outworked him again.
I want to take a look.
The inspector has called a doctor in to have a look at the eye of Davarryl.
On my head.
On the head.
On the head. Right in my mouth.
And watch this, there's a low blow that Davarryl Williamson lands. You'll see it coming up here, boom, right there, and it is a low blow. And right after that, Eddie Claudio warned him. And then towards the end of the round, here's Oliver coming on a little bit. Doubles with the jab, takes a right hand, misses with his right of his own. That was one of the better punches of the round, actually landed by Davarryl Williamson. And right after that, Oliver popped him with a pretty good left hand and right hand behind him. All right, here we go. This is round 9. Madison Square Garden, New York City. In the white trunks with the gold trim, with his back to you now is Oliver McCall facing you. Now circling around to the right of your screen in the silver trunks with the blue trim. And there's something on the back of Oliver McCall, a piece of tape or something. And Eddie Claudio gets it away. And back in action again. This is round 9. Madison Square Garden. I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan. Glad that you could be with us. Watching the aging veteran, former world champion Oliver McCall, who wanted to be spectacular, he told me, and taking out Davarryl Williamson. Well, he hasn't been spectacular, but he's out front on my scorecard, at least in the card, on my scorecard, but I don't do the official score. There have been several close rounds, but gee, Davarryl just isn't doing enough as far as I can see, but he wants to pick up the pace now as he goes with a nice stiff jab in the right eye of Oliver, beginning to pop up nicely, as is the right eye of Davarryl. Davarryl full concentration, bounces back to his left now, up on his toes, circling. Oliver tries to cut the ring off, hunts him down. Now comes forward. A nice counterpunching this time by Davarryl Williamson. This is the way Williamson fought back in the 3rd and 4th round, and it looked like at that stage he was going to turn the fight back in his favor. This is nice movement, but now here's McCall loading up shots. In a minute 46 seconds to go in the 9th round. Oliver wants to land the power shot, but he's being beaten to the punch a lot in this round, much more so than any round going back to the 3rd and 4th for Williamson, which were his best rounds in the fight. That left eye has got a big knot underneath it now of Davarryl. Oliver must have hit him with something in this round, and it's a constant pounding from the right hand of Oliver that both eyes are kind of puffy beneath him. Nobody's been down. Davarryl Williamson was shaken at the tail end of the 7th round, and otherwise it's been just a very tough prize fight. Davarryl showing some nice defensive tactics, and in most rounds not doing enough to win the rounds, and that's my opinion, of course. Under a minute to go now in the 9th round of a scheduled 10-round affair. Both guys, to put an exclamation point on this, would like to knock their opponent down. Nice left hook, bounces the head back at Davarryl, but doesn't seem to hurt him any. Take a look at the face of the two fighters, and you can see why I might be shaded towards Oliver McCall on my scorecard. Oliver doing what he has to do, but gee, you know, at age 39, I've seen guys that haven't worked as hard and coming up to the end of the 9th round and aren't as in good condition as he is at the end of this 9th round. And he wants to load something up, get the hands free, protects himself. Now hangs on as the bell works downstairs to Oliver. And finally, Eddie Claudio comes in and separates. The crowd getting a little bit itchy from interaction here. But in reality, these two big heavyweights have worked extremely hard, and there has to be a fatigue factor to this stage in the closing seconds of the 9th round. Nice left hook that time, caught Oliver, and that might just be enough to give Williamson that round, because that was the most definitive punch he's landed throughout the course of the evening, and I'm going to give that round to Davarryl based on that.
Go.
I'm going to score 87-84 with McCall out in front, but this is a fight that has had several very close rounds, at least 3 or 4 close rounds that, you know, one judge could see it one way or the other, so it might be more than a 3-point fight.
You follow through on your punches. You know what? Put your hands on. You're a little tired, but they'll take some goddamn deep breaths. And come on and take care of it. Look out there, you're waiting.
I got you.
You be a champion as you are. You want to be a champion again?
Yeah.
Then you got to work for
Okay.
it. It's not coming easy.
Richie
You gotta work
chooses his
for it.
moments to juice his man up.
Good, you got the guy.
Oh, touch him up.
Richie Giacchetti trying to juice his man up just a bit.
Touch him up. Touch him up. Touch him up. Okay, let's get
All right, here we go. This is the 10th and final round of this heavyweight battle. Oliver McCall in the white trunks to the right of your screen. Davarryl Williamson in the silver trunks in his back to you now, sliding around to the right of your screen. Both guys would like to finish this and not leave it in the hands of the judges. And Oliver's really trying to pick up the pace. He was juiced up by Richie Giacchetti, who was turned cheerleader in between the 9th and 10th rounds. Davarryl wanted to get him to this point in the fight, turn up the heat a little bit, and it's Oliver that seems to really want to turn it up in the early going here in the 10th round. Still no uppercuts by Oliver McCall. The one punch he gave me, I think I can take him out with it. He hasn't landed one, nor has he thrown one in the course of the fight. Oliver wants to land his big, powerful right hand. He also has a dynamite left hook. At least he did, you know, early in his career. Big left hook. Dropped to many a guys. Both of these guys are fatigued fighters right now. Oliver still seems to have the heavier blows, but Davarryl standing right in front of him now. This is perfect for McCall, with him right in front of him, because during his defensive style fighting, Davarryl was circling a lot, and Oliver had to chase him and claw after him and try to hunt him down. Now here's Davarryl trying to double with the jab, backs McCall off. McCall plants, try to draw him in. Perfect time for the uppercut, but he doesn't throw it. Here's Davarryl forcing it. He throws the uppercut and snaps the head back of Oliver. Now Oliver backs up. When Oliver gets pressured like this, he can be very dangerous. Tries to get the right hand off, and he does it. Now Davarryl thinks he can take him out. Now we got the best round of the fight, or the best few seconds of the fight, as both of these guys realize the urgency of where they are. They're in the 9th round, or rather the 10th and final round of a very close heavyweight fight. Davarryl let it go for the last 20 seconds. McCall weathered the storm, and now I can tell that he's breathing very, very hard. His jaw's hanging down. He's trying to suck that air in and oxygen through his nose. And now his punches don't seem to have the same zip, and Williamson's able to hang on. 50 seconds to go in the fight. McCall now is waiting for the first time in the fight. Then he attacks, and Williamson ties him up. Oliver bangs the big body of Davarryl. Davarryl had a nice 20-second flurry during the second minute of this round, and so far that might be the difference in this round. And then I'm going to have a one-point fight, which is going to be too close for me to call. We'll have to go to the judges' scorecard with 23 seconds, 22, 21, 20 seconds to go in this fight. And Oliver doesn't seem to have enough to finish that strong as he'd like to finish. Closing seconds now of the fight. Can anybody load up the big shot? Both guys try to do it. Oliver lets the left hook through, and then he plants and pushes off. There's the bell ending the fight. Well, that's a Williamson round, in my opinion, based on that nice about 20-25 seconds he had in the second minute of the 10th round. I'm going to score 95-94 in a fight that had at least 4 very, very close rounds that could go either way. So, you know, that's the best I can do for you, folks. This is a close fight. Nobody was down. Williamson was shaken in the very tail end of the 7th round. Both guys had puffiness around the eyes. It was a tough, hard fight. Two pretty good heavyweights. Both guys need this win desperately to continue their careers. For either one of them, a loss to an opponent of the caliber of either one of them would not help the future of either one of them. Especially at age 39 for McCall. Williamson, who said if he loses, he will retire, but we've often heard that before. But if he could pull out the decision and get the win over McCall, and his pretty good effort against Vladimir Klitschko, he's in the heavyweight picture. If Oliver wins it, he's going to be in it anyway because he's handled by Don King, and King will have him in the mix. And on my scorecard, I've got it 95-94. That's unofficially. And remember, I can't give the 100% concentration that judges give to scoring, so I can be a little off. And it was a little bit disappointing, I think, for Davarryl Williamson towards the end, because if his game plan, and I know his game plan and fight plan was to drag him into the deep water and try to, as they say, drown him in the late rounds, he really didn't do that. He dragged him into the deep water, but Oliver McCall was in condition enough at age 39, and he's been down the road so many times that he was able to really not show the wear of this hard, difficult fight until really the last minute of the 10th round when he began to show quite a bit of fatigue. But that was a very tough, hard, heavyweight fight for two guys that would have a shot to at least be contenders in the heavyweight division, the way the heavyweight division presently is. We're waiting for our ring announcer, Joe Antonacci, to pick up the scorecards, and when he has them, we will get the score to you, and we'll know who's won this fight. Again, I thought McCall won the first couple, then Williamson the third and fourth, and here we go to the decision.
Boxing fans, after 10 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Steve Weisfeld sees the bout 96-94. Judge Tony Paolillo also sees the bout 96-94. Judge Ron McNair sees the bout 97-94. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Davarryl Touch of Sleep Williamson.
Well, the judges in the close rounds, obviously in the close rounds, they gave them all to Davarryl Williamson. They liked his defensive tactics. They thought that he controlled the flow of the fight as opposed to landing more blows and being more aggressive as Oliver McCall. So it's a big decision for Davarryl Williamson. But again, I mentioned the 4 rounds that were close enough to go either way, and they liked the ring generalship over the amount of punches that Oliver McCall threw. So it goes as a unanimous decision victory for Davarryl Williamson. There he is.
Ritzy, we got to clear the ring as fast as possible, boss.
Oh, yeah, I'm